I try not to make them be quiet too much before I start something because it's hard enough to get them to be quiet for the length of it.
Shall I begin?
Can you hear me?
My name's Jasmine Cardenas.
My name is Ebony Grissom.
My name is Sylvia Toledo.
I'm Ricardo de Silva.
Christina Schneider.
I'm Tidi.
I am a diplomat, a foreign service officer with the State Department here in Washington, D.C. I live in Arlington, Virginia, and I manage outbound music diplomacy programs for the U.S. State Department, sending American musicians and artists, bands around the world to play for foreign audiences who would otherwise never have an opportunity to meet an American.
I'm original from Brazil. I'm a veterinary doctor and I have a PhD in public health. I have been working in the Ministry of Health of Brazil, have been working 20 years at PAHO, including PAHO Health Emergency, and now I'm teaching global health emergencies at Georgetown University. And I live in Washington, D.C.
In Greater Washington, D.C. I'm originally from New York City, from the Bronx, and I'm the Protestant chaplain at Georgetown.
I am living in Sherman Oaks, California. I'm originally from Brazil, and I'm a registered nurse.
I was born in Portugal and moved to South Africa when I was 6, and recently moved to New York about a year ago now. No, not a year ago. I moved 9 months ago to New York, and where I'm at Columbia Journalism School, studying journalism. So that's really my career path in a sense. I'm moving towards journalism and becoming a journalist. At the same time, I'm also an ordained deacon of the Catholic Church, and I'll be ordained a priest, hopefully, in the next few months when coronavirus allows for it.
I live in Chicago, Illinois. I am a Chicago-born artist. My family's from Colombia. I'm a first-generation American, and I'm a theater artist, and in that, I am both an actress as well as a director and writer, co-collaborator with people across the city of Chicago, as well as an independent storyteller. So I really love theater, but I've spent a lot of my last few years working on camera more.
I live in San Diego, California. I am a second grade teacher. I'm married with 2 children of my own, one in college and one in middle school.
I'm a mom, so I'm being a SAG-AFTRA actress has been really helpful because I can go and work one day on set somewhere, and not give 6 weeks of my life away to a play. And I miss putting my kids to bed when I do that, so it's nice to have different choices, different options as an actor and artist. And I do a lot of work for social justice. So this poem that I'm sharing comes from that line of work where I use theater of the oppressed to work with working communities, communities of color, immigrant communities, African-American communities, disenfranchised communities, to tell their stories using theater. So we're able to tell their stories of wage theft and discrimination and sexual harassment at job sites, and try to tell them in interactive ways so that we can educate other workers about their rights, but also educate the public about these gross inequities that happen right here in Chicago and surrounding suburbs.
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling? Tell me.
How am I feeling?
Right now, actually, I'm feeling great.
Overwhelmed.
Well,
I feel great today.
I'm really overwhelmed.
I've been using the city bike, to do my quarantine exercises, wear my mask and get out and enjoy this beautiful springtime here in DC. No, I feel good. Thank you.
Feeling okay.
I feel hopeful about what our lives can become on the other side of the curve.
Of course, very worried.
I am sad and disappointed.
Now worried with my family, with my friends, with the world. The world, now there's so many suffering around the world.
By the reality that this is where we are, it feels like as a country we have more than enough time to try to mitigate some of these disastrous outcomes. But that also inspires me to work more diligently to partner with other people to create the kind of future I want to see.
In general, I kind of, I go back and forth.
I struggled the first few weeks of quarantine, but the last few weeks have just been, maybe the last 2-3 weeks have been a lot better, and I've adjusted to reporting online, reporting remotely through Zoom.
If I stay off the news, then I start feeling really good, really positive.
That's been difficult. That was difficult at first, but I'm really finding my groove in that now. And I'm writing stories that I'm excited about and that I'm passionate about, and issues that I really believe in. And yeah, just kind of really focusing and zoning in on social justice and disenfranchised peoples. And that gets me going. So, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like if I don't go on to the news for, a couple of days, that when I go back on, I'm going to have some good news. And then it's like always the opposite. It's like, it just keeps getting worse. And I'm here that we're going to open the economy, that we're going to start putting a plan in place. But like, what I want to hear is, because things are getting better, because there's a vaccine that we're going to get released in 6 months and not in the next years, or because, not just because the economy is where it is and it's going to continue to get worse if we don't do this. Like, I want it to be backed up by, because it's safe. And I don't think we have that yet.